Mid-August baseball requires a specific kind of endurance. The trade deadline is a memory, September call-ups haven't arrived, and division rivals have transformed into absolute roadblocks on the path to October. For the New York Yankees, the goal is catching Tampa Bay to reclaim the American League East crown. For the Baltimore Orioles, the objective is baseline survival in the wildcard race. This chart shows the AL East standings. The Yankees sit at 70 and 55, trailing the division lead. The Orioles hold a 61 and 65 record, but that obscures how tight the picture is. Baltimore sits exactly one game back from the final wildcard spot. When the margins are this compressed, every pitch carries exponential weight. Dropping a single series late in the summer forces a team to rely on out-of-town scoreboards to dictate their October schedule. The series opener at Camden Yards on August 18th laid out exactly how tight that margin for error is. New York executed a clinical 3-1 victory on the road. Carlos Rodon commanded the mound through the early innings. Meanwhile, Trent Grisham provided necessary run support with a decisive third-inning home run. Baltimore's lone offensive response came from their youth, with highly touted prospect Kobe Mayo driving a solo shot into the seats. The game ultimately pivoted on a single swing from Pete Alonso. He cracked a deep drive to left field that sent the stadium into an early celebration, initially appearing to tie the game. Replay reviews quickly confirmed the ball drifted foul. A matter of inches erased the run and suffocated Baltimore's potential momentum shift. A slightly different wind current or a fraction of a second in bat speed changes that outcome. Game 1 showed that when playoff lives are on the line, the difference between a season-saving win and a devastating loss is mere millimeters. The Yankees arrive in late August carrying a roster defined by extreme contradictions. This graphic lays out the discrepancy. On one side, New York boasts the #1 team ERA in the majors at 3.24. On the other side, the lineup is hitting a collective .225, ranking 28th out of 30 clubs. That heavy reliance on run prevention is now facing a stress test. Starter Max Fried has landed on the injured list with an elbow issue, removing a key pillar from their rotation. To compensate, the front office is looking internally for an offensive spark. They've called up top prospect George Lombard Jr. to plug gaps in the infield and inject life into the lineup. Since arriving in the majors, Lombard is batting .293 with a .370 on-base percentage. More importantly, he has proven his power translates to the big leagues, logging 2 home runs in just 12 games. Lombard is producing, but expecting a rookie to single-handedly mask a team-wide offensive slump is a heavy burden. Elite October pitching staffs will relentlessly test those remaining holes in the batting order. Over in the home dugout, the Orioles operate with the urgency of a team backed into a corner. They are bruised, trailing in the standings, and highly motivated. Their primary strength is raw offensive output. The lineup features heavy hitters, anchored by Pete Alonso, who currently leads the club with 28 home runs and 81 runs batted in. Yet that run production is constantly undermined by the mound. Baltimore's pitching staff carries a 4.24 team ERA, ranking 19th in the league, and frequently putting the offense in deep deficits. The medical report offers some late summer optimism. Samuel Basallo is returning from a shoulder injury, and utility player Blaze Alexander is nearing a rehab assignment for his hand. With impact bats re-entering the lineup, Baltimore holds the raw materials required to terrorize opposing staffs. They have the talent. Their primary enemy is now the rapidly shrinking calendar. Game 2 of this series presents a distinct clash of philosophies. New York's deep reservoir of arms against Baltimore's disciplined approach at the plate. Taking Fried's spot in the rotation is Will Warren. He brings an 8-6 record alongside a 4.42 ERA to the mound for the Yankees. Warren will have to navigate a lineup that refuses to chase pitches out of the zone. The Orioles currently rank 3rd in all of baseball in drawing walks, constantly hunting for free passes and elevated pitch counts. Baltimore will counter with veteran right-hander Chris Bassett. Making his second start since returning from the injured list, Bassett is looking to lower a ballooning 5.11 ERA. This visualization breaks down Bassett's primary underlying issue. His strikeout rate sits at a very low 14%. Rather than missing bats, he relies heavily on pitching to contact and trusting his fielders to make plays behind him. A pitcher who requires the opposing team to put the ball in play is facing off against a New York offense desperate to find its rhythm. The result of that specific tension will likely decide if the Yankees secure the series or if Baltimore pulls themselves back from the ledge. The ripples of this mid-August series will be felt well beyond the AL East. Looking at the current playoff bracket, a New York Series victory keeps maximum pressure on Tampa Bay for the division title. Conversely, a Baltimore comeback could vault them right back above the wildcard elimination line. It comes down to which identity holds up under stress: New York's suffocating ability to prevent runs, or Baltimore's dormant, heavy-hitting offense waking up at exactly the right moment. One of these rosters will have their vulnerabilities exposed, and the other will take a critical step toward October. Which team do you think is better built for the postseason? Look over the pitching metrics, weigh the offensive firepower, and let us know your series prediction in the comments below.